Okay, so you should have your menu working in your app where you can change the type of map that displays. The next piece is we are going to add some code so that you can get your current location and have the map zoom into that location. You might notice that the button to get your location is missing from our app, so we're going to add a menu item and then some automatic programming to update your location. All right, so in the notes that I've updated, you should see these. What I'm doing for this video is under the getting your current location menu item area. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is open up your Android manifest.xml file, and you need to add a couple of permissions. The first one allows you to have permission to access the Wi-Fi location or the cell tower location. And the last one is to get the GPS location. So these permissions need to be added. You're going to copy them and go to your manifest and just copy and paste them just below the other permissions in that file. Once you have that, go ahead and save it, close it, and you're good to go with that. Okay. The next piece is we are going to add a method called show current location in the main activity.java file. All right, this method is going to use some services, location services, and other classes that we haven't used in the app so far. So there's going to be a few imports and a few error corrections that you're going to want to add. So go ahead and take this entire piece of code here, the show current location method, and you're going to go to your main activity.java file and go ahead and paste it. Really, I just put it right under my on create method. The location of the methods generally don't matter. All right. You may get some errors, and that's because you have to also implement a few things and import a few things. So for right now, the error that you can fix, or you can do this later, is you can right click on the error or select it and choose add permission check to fix the error. So that's what I did here on the screen. If you see this large if statement here, that's what will be placed if you fix that error. Now the import errors and things, those will come a little bit later. So let's just keep going and everything will get cleared up. I'll just try to mention how to fix the errors as we go. So in your implements list on your main activity.java file, we want to implement a couple of interfaces. They're both from the Google API client. We have connection callbacks and on connection failed listener. So go ahead and copy those, and in the class header you can include those with the other implemented interface. Remember that you can implement many interfaces. All right, so this should not be a problem. When you implement these, you will definitely get an error. You want to make sure you click on that and go ahead and implement the methods that are included. We're going to use some of those methods later in this tutorial. Okay. Next, you're going to add a method, or not a method, sorry, and a variable at the top of the class to hold your current location. So you can scroll just below where you had your error request and go ahead and paste that. Okay. And then we are going to, now we're going to need to fix some errors with our Gradle build. This is something I found as I was going through, so it seems kind of in crazy order. I was kind of fixing this as I went. So let's go ahead and make sure you can find that. You're going to go to Gradle scripts, build.gradle, and it's the module app version. Go ahead and double click on that, and then scroll down to the dependencies. All right, so there's one dependency you need to add basically, and that's for the services location 1501. All right, so go ahead and copy that, paste it in there, and then resync. Remember, anything you do in your Gradle scripts, you have to save and resync for them to take hold. Okay, so back to your main activity .java class. You're going to add an import for the location services. So go ahead and highlight that and go ahead and find. I put mine in the middle for some reason, but you can put it wherever you want to on the imports. Location services need to be imported, and that will probably fix some of your errors here. So just go ahead and check that code from the other method that we included. Okay. Next, we're going to go to the onCreate method, and this is where our location variable gets assigned. So we're going to go to the Google API Builder, and we'll get a location. We'll call back and basically connect and build to that location. What it does, it goes out to those preferences that I mentioned, either your cell tower or your wireless location if you're on that type of data, or your GPS location. That gets connected and sent back to your device. Alright, so you're going to go ahead and copy that and paste it in your onCreate. I put it right under the init map method. Alright, and fix any errors there or imports that need to be fixed there. I think most of them should be okay. If not, I have them listed here. Okay, so that should work for the Java file. The last piece is to add the final or an additional menu item. So you're going to go ahead and select this. This will be our menu item to go to your current location. Copy it, and then the menu item is in the menu folder, in the res folder. Go ahead and click on that, and then the last item, just add to the list and make sure you keep all the syntax correct. You will have to fix this string, so double click and fix the error and just call it current location. Okay, so once you have that, you've repaired all your imports and errors and checked all your syntax. You should be able to run this and go to a different location on your app, and then in the menu click go to current location, and it should actually load up your current location where you are. So not just in San Diego or in a general area, it'll point directly where you are. Okay. Alright, so test that out. If it's not working, just go back through these first steps. Okay, so the next piece, after you've tested that and it works, what we want is to be able to have our app automatically go to some locations. This is kind of what happens when you're using Google Maps for directions, and it continuously updates where you are as you travel. Alright, so that's something similar to is what we want here. So we're going to go back to the main activity.java, and there are a couple more location class imports that you want to copy. And you may have seen this from when I was showing you earlier, but I pasted it right under the location services. You need the listener and location request imports. So go ahead and paste those there. And then we're going to get another variable added to our class. This one will be a location listener. So we're going to listen for changes in our location or ping for a different location. Where basically what will happen is we're pinging the GPS or pinging our cell tower or wireless network to get this location information. So go ahead and copy that and paste it just below your location client variable. Okay. Now we are going to use one of those methods that we had to implement from the interfaces that we are using, the onConnect method. So there is quite a bit of code here, and what happens, there's a lot going on. If there's some of the stuff I will just basically introduce. I suggest if you really want to know what's going on, you could kind of look up and see what's going on with each of these methods. But basically, it's like I said, where it's going to listen for changes. We're going to get a text message that pops up showing that our location has changed, and then we'll get the new location, latitude and longitude. All right, so that should work out pretty well. And then this last bit is to make sure that our location request stops. I guess that's right here under the pause. So go ahead and let's finish this part, and then we'll talk about that part. So go ahead and copy this and find the onConnected method. Scroll down. Most of the methods that you add after having Android Studio add them, it gets placed at the bottom of the class. So here we are. Go ahead and click inside of this method and paste the code that I've given you. Again, fix any imports and any errors. I mentioned that this location services is the one that you're getting an error. You probably will get an error for checking permissions. That's because most of the time you want to check and make sure that you have permission to give up your location and post it to the app. All right, so that's what that is. So go ahead and add that, and then the very last piece is, like I was starting to mention, you don't want to have your app continually update because that will totally drain your battery. So the last piece is you want to add this code, which is an override to the onPause method, and this will pause your updates or remove the location update basically once you close the app, so it doesn't continuously try to update where you are is your third location. Okay, so go ahead and copy that, and now you just paste it at the very end of the class. Just make sure you careful where you're pasting it, you don't mess up any of your curly bracket location or organization here. Okay, that's pretty much it. You want to save and sync everything up and test it out. You should be able to go to different locations. For this one, I suggest actually once you install it on your device, disconnect it from your computer and kind of walk around and see if it's updating your location. That'd be kind of a cool thing to check out. All right, that's it for now.